Joseph and Potiphar's wife. If you are unfamiliar with the Old Testament story of Joseph, take time to read it in Genesis chapters 37 and 39 to 47. I want you to take a few minutes to seek God's understanding of Genesis chapter 39, verse 11 to verse 23. Genesis chapter 39, verse 11 and verse 12. Now one day he went into the house to do his work, and none of the household servants were there. She grabbed him by his garment and said, "Sleep with me." But leaving his garment in her hand, he escaped and ran outside. Is Potiphar's wife at your church? Potiphar's wife is one of the 42nd nameless women in the Bible. There are some valuable lessons to be learned from this story found in Genesis 39. False accusations, unjust punishment. Let's quickly go to the biblical context, the historical context. After Joseph arrived in Egypt, he was bought by Potiphar and became a servant in his house. The Lord blessed Joseph, and he found favor in his master, who put him in charge of all he had. Joseph was young. Scripture describes Joseph as a handsome man and good looking, to whom Potiphar's wife was attracted. The sin of Potiphar's wife was simply lust. This story is realistic recognition that standing up to sexual harassment in the workplace may have devastating consequences. Potiphar's wife demonstrates to us that sin and evil are everywhere. Potiphar's wife, the wife of a prosperous, influential Egyptian, she was unfaithful, and if I may say vindictive, ready to lie in order to protect herself and ruin an innocent man. Potiphar's wife commands Joseph to sleep with her. Potiphar's wife pursued Joseph relentlessly, according to Genesis 39 verse 10, even though he continued to refuse her. When physically assaulted, Joseph made the choice to flee, half naked rather than submit. I want you to put yourselves in Joseph's position and think how easy it would be to rationalize the sin. Denying her would certainly bring negative consequences. But Joseph has the courage to make the right and difficult choice. Lesson to be learned. Hear me good. It is a reminder that leadership is attractive, and there will always be those, especially of the opposite sex, who admire the one who leads. Leaderships make a person more appealing. It provides an image of charisma, confidence. So he refuses several times. He changes his schedule so they are not alone together. Take note. But one day she corners him and set the trap. When she finally went so far as to grab Joseph's coat, he ran. So because Joseph ran, Potiphar's wife framed Joseph. Potiphar's wife frames Joseph, saying he made improper advances toward her. Potiphar believed his wife. Then they put Joseph in prison. Joseph provides a model for us that even when we are falsely accused and wrongly treated, we carry on with the work God has given us, allowing God to make it right in the end. God's plan for Joseph continued during Joseph's prison. Joseph refused. Joseph resisted. Joseph ran. Potiphar's wife cried out. Potiphar's wife had evidence Are you willing to run away from sin? Genesis 39 verse 13. Many years later, Paul would write, flee sexual immorality. Joseph was an honest man. He told her it was immoral to commit such an act. Joseph has respect Potiphar and refuses to cheat him. Adultery would be a sin against God. Avoid being alone with the opposite sex. What can we learn from Potiphar's wife? A person cannot stop God from fulfilling his plan.